For this presentation, we used the books Navajo Phonology by Hoyser, The Navajo Sound System by McDonough, and The Navajo Language by Morgan and Young.
So, Navajo phonetics, the property of constant inventory. One of the many examples that I chose was za. Um, that's the phenome, and then it's a voice post alveolar fricative. An example of it would be shizi, which in Navajo translated would mean my name. Also within the language, the vowel inventory of the language is mainly developed between the four core vowels, which are I, E, O, and A. Um, they would notably be in the notable property of vowel inventories. One of the examples I picked was A. Um, it is a low back vowel with a high tone. So for three, it would be ta. The syllable type is CV, and the syllable is also closed with a glottal stop.
I'm going to make an attempt and butcher this Navajo letter, which has been described as somewhat like the English letter G in go, but with a softer closure of the glottis. So you don't get a full stop. The air continues to flow, and it's more of a go or go sound, I think. Um, there's a rule that applies that when this letter appears before a rounded vowel like O, the vowel in the syllable becomes more like the English word boot. The lips are pursed and there's labialization. So again, I'm gonna butcher this. It sounds something more like ooh, ooh. And yeah, this happens and appears anywhere there is a rounded vowel like o after the g letter, becoming u. I'm not going to try to pronounce these Navajo words because I think that would be a bad idea. But some examples you can see below. The word for it is finished and the word for soap are both examples of where this rule can be seen being applied. Another rule involves the letter T. There's actually three forms of the letter in the Navajo language. The aspirated, the unaspirated, and the ejective. Aspiration we're familiar with. T aspirated is T as in top, versus unaspirated would be the T as in stop. It's a subtle difference there, but there's more of a puff of air that comes out with the aspirated version. The ejective version, I'm not going to try to make because we don't have ejectives in English, and so the description of how to make the sound is pretty foreign to me. But this letter T has a number of rules that apply in the Navajo language. It actually exists as a separate phoneme in the ejective version, often at the beginning of a word. But then there is the aspirated and the unaspirated, sort of more normal versions of T that we're used to. And when T is at the beginning of a word in the stress position, it is aspirated. So t. Whereas if it follows an S, it becomes unaspirated. so more of a st sound. And again, I'm not going to try to pronounce these Navajo words because I can't, but here we have some examples of the spelling, at least, of where they apply. So for the letter three, the word three, we can see the aspirated T at the beginning, the T sound. In the word for cart or carriage, we see the st sound. And then in the word for again, or also, or in turn, there's the adjective version, which, like I said before, I am unable to make that sound. I'm not. It would be sort of a type thing. I'm not really sure. But these are some of the rules that apply to the Navajo language and the letters contained, consonants contained therein.